carries viable in both roles, as we've seen played in multiple regions already.
They're locked in. 20 seconds on the clock. You have no more chance to change it around. So that is going to be the Ezreal mid. CoreJJ takes the Varus to the bot lane. I believe the first time we'll see him on this champion. Like you said, though, Kobe, he does take that into solo queue, so no stranger to it.
Yep.
Dignitas has been able to defeat Team Liquid in their previous meeting in Week 4. We'll see if they can carry momentum from some of their recent games as well. Yesterday's win over Team 8 and recent wins over other teams, Liquid, Enemy, Impulse. It's been good for them.
So just looking at the team comps, Dignitas went for a team composition that's all about poke, and then it was countered by some hard engage, but split push. You have a Maokai, you have a Twisted Fate, who didn't take TP. He went away from that spell, but you also have a Rek'Sai and a Sivir. So there's rotational play here, there's hard engage, and there's split push.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Keep updating your votes with each twist and turn of the game. Tweet hashtag DIGWin or hashtag TLWin to add LOL Esports, and we'll keep those updated throughout the game. We're about to be on the Rift. We got the TriCast going on, coming in for Dignitas versus Team Liquid. It's going to be a good one, and we're going to bring this one to you all that we can. Dig versus Liquid. We're on the Rift, and it's going to be a good game. These guys are looking at the top of the table right now. Liquid to move up. Dignitas looking for a share of that first place.
Yeah, I mean, it comes a little later, but I'm glad the setup was there. 4 shifters, AP, Ezreal. Now he gets to try it on with the Rune Glaive on top, and Dignitas were able to utilize that flex to mess with the damage types for Phoenix. Yes, because we have that rule of the 20 seconds, though, he was able to get armor. Gamsu, though, under fire, forced to level taunt.
Gamsu hit very, very close to some initiation there and a first blood. Talking a little bit to the players beginning before the games. Dominate says in a lot of ways, he and Kiwi were cut from the same cloth.
I've always thought Kiwi was like a decent player. It's just he's the type of player that's not afraid to make a play and look bad doing it, which it's kind of like me. I see like kind of like the same type of qualities that we have. Like we're not afraid to make plays, and sure, if a play doesn't go right, you're gonna look like a complete idiot. But if it does go well, you can win the game off it.
Reminds me of how the end of Team Liquid Dignitas went last time. That final call.
Let's see who looks like the idiot today.
But it'll still be all right.
Both teams played Champion Select really well, though. Back and forth, and the fact that they were hiding so much for so long.
Yeah.
Even to the last 20 seconds of the Champion Select, it looked like it was going to be an Ezreal in the bot lane.
Well, every team can't switch and flex as much as Gravity does. These guys still try to, and they do a very good job at it.
But I love seeing that used, because it gives you an edge coming in, because you saw the Twisted Fate come through, and it had to be a pick that was effective against both champions.
Ooh, early move here. Especially, we talked about him trying to mimic the plays that Kiwi Kid likes to do early, roaming top specifically. This time goes mid, though. Wants to make his presence felt. Meanwhile, Kiwi Kid is leveling up. He's sitting in the brush on the bottom lane, so he's soaking up experience. As far as the duo goes, Alistar, you do need to get that level 2 before you can actually be effective. And Kiwi Kid trying to do that before he goes for a roam.
And Special, though. Special going into the blue side jungle. He's going to get a little bit of presence here. They're going to check on it. It is the strong side of the map. You can see Helios wants to pick up that buff.
Kiwi Kid was unable to soak that level 2 before trying to answer roam, so Kiwi Kid had to back, and he wants to get up to the top side. Dignitas are making the move to slip 3 people in during the lane swap. So this is that risky move that we've seen tried to pull off so many times. They do have Shen already under the cover of turret, but Kiwi Kid and Helios are kind of
going around the back.
On the outside still.
He's not going to do anything with it, though. And they're all just going to move up top, so they actually just answered everybody to the top side. So now...
Yeah, but they were cut off.
They're cut off. CoreJJ down bottom by himself. He's soaking experience during all of this.
Kiwi is trying to make his way in. What a hectic beginning of the game. Liquid is just pretty much keeping Dignitas on the fence here. The wave gets cleared. They can move in. They have one at the turret as well. It looks like they'll be able to stay safe for now. But interesting start as Liquid tries to get a few things on their plate.
Yeah, interesting. Well, it really pays off for Team Dignitas, and that is a risky move that we've seen backfire so many times. But Team Liquid unwilling to go for that dive because we know how poorly it will turn out for you if you mess up that early dive. So for a short amount of time, that short window, Dignitas get the experience lead because they got experience from 3 lanes since CoreJJ was all alone down bottom.
So they're not okay with making that play. Dominate live.
But it's also against a Shen. It is so hard to dive a Shen. They learned from watching.
You have an Alistar right behind you.
TSO.
Yeah.
We saw how that went when Cali Trolls went. But look at this, the flash.
Not afraid to go in when they have the advantage, though. Special very low. That flash puts him in range of melee. Still 3 members of Dignitas here. One last Vorpal Blade and a hate spike to come out. They take him down, and Piglet's left alone.
Kiwi Kid shows him how it's done. Yes, you visit mid lane and mess with my mid laner, but straight up head to head.
Yep.
And he's got the support of an Evelyn. Helios making his rounds at the top side of the map. Really well played by Dignitas out of the lane swap. And Team Liquid unable to make them pay for the riskier attempt at a lane swap answer here from Team Dignitas.
And a lot of that came down to jungle movements. The fact that Helios is on the top side of the map and Dom decides to go to the bottom to continue to farm. When you are in a lane swap, you need to have something in your sights at all time, whether it's a turret, whether it's helping out a teammate or breaking freeze. And Helios was on point with that.
Yeah.
That first top starts, or the first attack top, I should say, starts to sting Piglet a little bit. He falls behind 10 CS without having the pressure on his lane. CoreJJ is having a field day down here.
Yeah, he's getting solo experience. So this Varus, you know, because he was swapped into the bomb side, I thought he was going to have a later power spike, but he's gotten solo experience thus far, and he's going to continue to do that. So he's going to be on track for that mid lane Varus power spike. And this is, as I said, the champion that CoreJJ oftentimes in solo queue, if he doesn't get AD carry as the role, he picks Varus mid. So he's got plenty of practice on, you know, a solo experience level of Varus play.
That's a good point.
Very excited to see how he's able to do when they group with the team.
Hit those common benchmarks he's used to as the game goes on being solo. For 500 gold about in the lead here. Not too much that Dignitas can work with, but they're feeling pretty good about how the game started and may have the Inklings to be the ones to start off on some of these engages. Still a poke team. They'll get that damage in before they really try anything. Looking at 6 now on to Phoenix. Could be a power point for the team to start making some of their own plays.
Exactly that map pressure. Now you can see CoreJJ can't push up far enough to continue shoving that wave, and that experience is just going to keep going to Quas. He's going to be able to pick up the CS in that bot lane, because if he goes too far forward, it's just the point and click that's going to lock him up.
Yeah, very curious where Helios is going to try and pressure, because the goal of Team Liquid's top duo as well as mid lane is to constantly press in with the Sivir and Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate going to try and pressure Shifter and open up room for a teleport. But Helios on Evelyn, invisible early, the perfect setup to try and punish that play. He already punished top for it. But Shifter, just trying to keep up in farm. Not much he can do at this point to answer the Twisted Fate shove. So the other 2 lanes just have to try and play around the windows where Shifter shoves his lane, and he has the possibility of going for that teleport gank. But thus far, you know, Shen Alistar, that's not an easy one to go for.
And speaking of the shoving lanes, you see CoreJJ actually runs middle to help shove it out, and then he goes back down bottom. He needs, oh no, he's actually just wrapping around here.
The famed Varus gank, level 6, is going to snipe him with the ultimate here, try and burn a summoner.
He's trying to do something and have active time on the map instead of just farming down bottom when the lane is being freezed towards the Maokai.
Yeah, you
If
cannot
push too forward.
Find yourself walking
it's a Maokai Rek'Sai. You can't really walk out into the long lane there.
And then Twisted Fate as well on top of it. You just put yourself at so much risk, and he's not willing to take it. Instead, he's just trying to be active.
Yeah, so both side lanes for Team Dignitas playing around the Twisted Fate shove, as we were looking for. So very calm and collected play here for Shifter and the rest of the squad early on as he tries to farm up to Runeglaive.
So no turrets taken off of the lane swap, and now you're going to see Sivir come back down bottom here. Piglet swapped down, so they're going to get some time while Kiwi Kid isn't in that bot lane.
See how this works for him. Pushing the mid lane as well on that. You're going to see a back from Phoenix. You might even get a back from Shifter here as they start to rotate over. It looks like a blue transfer is just going to be all that they get on the side of Dignitas here. Team Liquid's ward line just down the river so far in the game here, making sure that Helios doesn't get any good ganks or flanks around the outside. But also, without Liquid able to get those wards in where Helios is farming and whatnot, they may not know where he's coming from if the lane gank comes in.
That's one of the things with the Varus Q. If you charge it and fire from Fog of War, really easy to get harassed on your opponents if they're not Sivir. So Piglet there, gonna have the reaction time. You know, with the changes to missiles coming out of Fog of War, definitely will be alerted. No more invisible in spears.
And a large portion of the fact when they did swap it back and it was a Varus down bottom, the Varus into Sivir matchup, Varus, his poke is so few and far between early on that it's spell shielded very frequently, very easily. But he does have that range advantage, but a lot of his burst damage in the trades is actually proccing his W after the trade.
Yeah, especially since he is going with the AD carry line of build instead of the tier into cooldown reduction from Brutalizer. No tier plus no Brutalizer means obviously a lot less spam. There goes the Dragon though. Dominate is able to pick up the objective. So that's kind of the only reward that Team Liquid got for the shoving advantage. The shoving advantage of the Twisted Fate and the Sivir early on was dealt with fairly well by Team Dignitas. And as they scale their AD carries up, they will get more wave clear to try and answer that of Team Liquid. But the early Dragon is going to be the cost that they pay.
There are so many pink wards on the bottom right-hand side of the map from Team Liquid. It really looks like they're trying to concentrate this area down and get some roams to that direction. But Helios, he's already here. They don't have vision of where Twisted Fate is at the moment.
Now, a Sivir Thresh is one of the most difficult to gank. Both top laners have teleport, though.
Activation of the bomb alarm towards the top side, but the fight's on the bottom. Teleport behind from Quas. He's in a great spot. Here comes Phoenix with the gate as well. See if he can get out of this fight. Quas has a great hold on the back line right now. Another Arcane Smash keeps Core JJ almost in range. Gamsu is able to get his dash out of there. Quick play coming in from Team Liquid with that 6 Phoenix.
As we say it, the Sivir Thresh were the most difficult games to... Well, they're not done here. They're going to try and run Gamsu off.
Well, they didn't even
zone him.
They didn't even use heal there. Piglet didn't even have to heal like special. He knew he was fine with the shield. And a huge part of that play is we've talked about a whole bunch. When stuff goes down bottom, everybody has to be ready to jump down there. When there's a Twisted Fate in the game, it's just even more prevalent.
Overcommitting on a Sivir Thresh is just kind of heartbreaking to see because good spell shield there from Piglet. Then, just out of range as well from the ultimate from Core JJ. There's the big opening that Team Liquid were waiting for. See what they can do with it, though. Trying to get some deep vision off of the bottom play here. They weren't able to take any objectives, so it was just the kill money. But they did get some time open on Summoner's Rift to be able to get those wards out. Let's take a look at it again here. Piglet able to special combo. Then X special does get a bit close, but that Varus ultimate missing was huge. Big combo on X. Oh, he flashed the arrow. So about that calculation of him being okay with just a shield, I think that might have just been a gut check thing, but they are able to chase it down. And X special even comes back to re-enter the fight just in case.
The headbutt pulverized both portions of it, ate the spell shield. Kind of have to space him out there. Let the headbutt eat it and then Q afterwards, but normally you expect it so the headbutt doesn't knock him all the way back.
It becomes that mind game that we were talking about yesterday with all these Sivir into Alistar lanes of at what point does the Alistar start playing the mind game and not doing the instant combo, preying on the reactions of the AD carry. I think it's a fairly good bet at the moment, just because all the AD carries have trained themselves to quickly spell shield the combo. There goes Phoenix, though.
Gate to Helios. He's looking to make plays by himself. Helios only with that Trailblazer on, and he's going for damage anyways. Like you said, squishy, Zyrene. True Shot Barrage comes right across. They'll get the record. They usually kill. No, Phoenix doesn't go down the... Really? Mystic Shot misses. They finally pick it up. I thought he was going to be able to squeak his way out of there. Core JJ looking to follow up with a piercing arrow, and the spell shield from Piglet keeps them safe. Only a few summoners used on the side of Team Liquid there.
Gamsu's TP got interrupted during that fight. He was trying to TP to that pink ward in the Tri-Brush, and Quas stopped it.
Very big play from the top lane. That could have changed much more. solidifying a few more kills and putting Dig right back in this one. Right now, the control from Team Liquid, once they finally got wards right behind Dragon Pit after that bottom fight, they seem fearless to make some more plays.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really, really aggressive move from Team Liquid. But Dignitas, with the more defensive setup, able to collapse really quickly. Even though Shen's teleport stopped by Quas with the Twisted Advance there, still able to capitalize in. Shifter very happy to get that early kill onto Runeglaive Ezreal. That boosted him up to the needlessly large rod. And it's the 2-item power spec that you really got to worry about with this guy. Either Luden's Echo or Deathcap completed in combination with the Runeglaive is where he really starts to hurt, and you get a lot more, ability to answer the global effect of Team Liquid with the Ezreal ult once it becomes empowered, boosted by all this AP because of the ridiculous AP ratio on it.
I don't like talking about it.
Makes me feel sad.
I know. I know I'm going to have to talk about it sometime this game.
See, that's when you just play it. You got to
join
him. Actually,
join him if you can.
If you want to talk about different items, the Lich Bane on the other side here for Phoenix, instead of going for the Zhonya's, I think that this is due to the flex there from Dignitas, because they want Twisted Fate to eventually get a Zhonya so they can engage on the backline, on the Varus, on the Ezreal. But because his opponent is magic damage, is the Ezreal, he has gone for Lich Bane. So maybe they opt for more side lane pushing with him. It did pay off a little bit with the early burst going for his kill onto Evelyn, but because he was so deep, definitely paid the price.
Yeah, it's a big part of this comp later on. The Poke comp wants to group up with Poke and Siege. This comp wants to split push. They want to have some wave clear, but they also want to have people who can go off to the side lanes like Twisted Fate and siege turrets down, have Maokai go off to the side, TP in or flank, and get to that back line. There is so much danger towards this back line.
Right. And you can see that split pushing you're talking about from Liquid is keeping Dig in the lanes. You mentioned, I don't know how long ago, these pink wards that are hovering the bottom right side of the map that are still there. Dig's not able to move forward or wanting to right now and clear any of those or have any intention to. So they're playing pretty safe.
It gave them full control of that bottom side jungle, too. It's hard to clear them, though, because you can be collapsed on fairly quickly. Boss has his TP back up.
Well, more plays could come from this. Very deep wards already placed by Red. Easy push in from Quas in the top lane. One punch to the turret. Dragon as well going down here on your screen. Team Liquid making very good moves right now to put Team Dignitas a little bit behind in the game. We're just 17 minutes in. Yeah. Liquid looks like they have good win conditions on their mind.
Yeah, Dignitas very much content to give away the early dragons because the buffs early on don't mean that much, and stacking up isn't that big of a fear for them. There's something else that's really strong about poke comps that's not mentioned as much, is that the fear of neutral objectives and vision control, stacking up isn't as much because poke comps come inherently with so many ways to check without having wards down, because they have all these abilities to throw out, poke the brush. Makes it a bit easier for them if they're working with neutral objective deficits. It's not ideal, but they do have more ways to try and poke around.
Also, poke by nature, you don't want to walk up to where they are. You want to go somewhere else and start poking and sieging down. If they're in a Dragon Pit with a Maokai, he's just going to flash engage on you. He has ways in. So you want to stay away from these objectives until you've hit your power spike, and then you shove them out, you shove them, make them go to mid, you get them to half HP, then you go get the objective. So they're waiting for those types of spikes.
Poke comps have restraining orders on the other team.
Yeah.
You want to keep that restraining order in place.
But it doesn't activate until way later.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, this Runeglaive Ezreal, they're being punished early on. They're a poke squad that hasn't been able to get any turret pressure. So Team Liquid are playing well, playing accordingly to the double AD carry. Poke set up from Team Dignitas. Really, the turning point comes after Team Liquid knock down these outer turrets. They use the first fight where Team Liquid try and use the global gold advantage of the outer turrets to chase them down, use the Sivir and the Twisted Fate to try and catch one of these guys. That's really going to be the most telling point, because if it's ineffective and they're not able to get the pick, I've seen so many times where the poke-heavy team is able to just weather the early game storm and come back very strong with a mid-game siege and just get so much of the money back through outer turrets.
Team Liquid forcefully pushing themselves through, stealing red and clearing out a few of the pink wards that Dignitas finally put down to get Liquid's wards out. They are really putting a stranglehold down right now onto what Dignitas is trying to do. Shifter still getting well farmed in mid. Got to wait for him to ramp up a little bit more, and they are avoiding fights.
Yeah, a lot of division in favor of Team Liquid.
Yeah, they keep putting it down as soon as it goes.
Yeah, exactly. And also Helios hasn't completed his sight stone. Doesn't even look like he might be going for one this game.
Yeah.
You're going to lack in that vision control, and I was talking about it before with Dignitas. This is a team that needs vision in order to execute these decisive calls. And if they do it without it, that's kind of the Achilles heel of this team.
Yeah, that is true to an extent. For this game specifically, though, since they have gone the siege that you mentioned, they are looking to group up, a lot in lanes. Plus, they have the reactive ability to use the Shen ultimate. So maybe less so in this specific comp.
We haven't heard too much.
But definitely true for the team overall. Yeah, agree.
Let's see if Gamsu can make those plays anytime soon. We have seen a very, very calm Dignitas. Finally some sweeping going on in the jungle from Helios. Top lane back and forth. Quas has had no trouble pushing this lane in up here. A solid player, as always, for Team Liquid, and continuing to win his lane here in this game against Dignitas. Remember, Dig took this first matchup between Liquid back in week 4. Liquid does not want to see that happen again. It looks like they're showing it.
It's a 4,000 gold advantage that's just kind of crept up over these 20 minutes to Team Liquid's side. They're just getting some pick kills. They're playing to their comp's advantage, and they're playing towards the power trough of Dignitas right now because they're still trying to get to these item breakpoints. It's still the needlessly large rod in Shifter's inventory. He hasn't gotten a second item just yet, and Team Liquid are just splitting up. They're sieging down as fast as they can, and they're split pushing. They're not really looking for these fights, but Kiwi Kid is a little out of position here.
This could be big. Throw on the Unbreakable Will. He'll be fine for now, but Quas is going to be right where he wants. He's going to go on to Helios with Piglet. Everybody gets an assist on that one. Core JJ and Shifter, the two DPSers on the outside, but I don't think they can put anything back into the fight. Gamsu's forced to flash out, and Team Liquid and Quas go headstrong into the composition of Dignitas.
There's that fight I was looking for. The first fight where Team Liquid get to use the big global gold advantage. They find the pick, finally, with the Twisted Fate, with the Sivir speed boost, chasing down Kiwi Kid. And man, Helios on the Evelyn pick. I'm still not a fan of the Evelyn pick. Straight into the Rex side, but also in poke comps especially.
Yeah, it's not that convincing. It doesn't do a whole lot of peel. It doesn't help poke. It doesn't really supplement the team at all. And Team Liquid have already been playing around it. They put all these pink wards down. The ward they TPs to is already there. I talked earlier, you can't clear these pink wards. You're going to get collapsed on just like this.
Yeah, if the ward is a reason for Phoenix to come in, the rest of the team to get a teleport on something close. And right now, with the light bright they have built in the bottom side of the jungle, it was crazy.
Back-to-back games, seeing the AP Ezreal power trough being punished fairly effectively.
Yeah.
It's also blue side picked. You really get to punish that pick. You get to draft whatever you want as that last pick into it. We've seen a Jarvan, we've seen Twisted Fate so far, and they both look rather good.
Yeah. Saw the Ahri, Shalway Shallow versus Inox.
Yeah. So the deficit of having to try and work around 2 or 3 turrets advantage is what you expect to give up when you run one of these scaling poke-oriented comps, and of course all the dragons early. However, that crucial part to me is the team fight chase. When Team Liquid are able to actually find that pick and use the Sivir speed, that makes the comeback.
Yeah.
Even with the power going to move up there with the Ezreal finally completing the 2 items, makes it really difficult. And Phoenix, it looks like he's actually not even going to move. Well, he could go either way right now. He's got the makings of whatever he wants to go with. He could turn it into Death Cap or use the Amp Tub to also go for the Zhonya's if they want to, double down on the hard engage and actually come up with those Messiah-type plays. I wonder if he actually will go Death Cap or Zhonya's. I'd say Zhonya's more versatile.
Getting to that backline is important here.
But Phoenix, he's liking his time in the spotlight. He wants to make.
Feels like a god.
Yeah, he feels like a god now. He wants to make big plays.
I can't
more
die.
damage.
Go to the back line Zonias. It'll work out.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But speaking of not dying, even though Shifter hit his 2-item spike, there's already a lock-in completed on Dominate. We already have the Righteous Glory on Quas with the Spectre's Cowl, so these guys are ready to charge forward through the APS.
You're only one recipe piece off the Talisman of Ascension for Xpecial as well, so it's going to be very hard to break the engage with Team Liquid bringing to the table. Going around 25 minutes here in the game. Wards are starting to be pinged out a little bit more by Dignitas. They're saying these are where the pinks are, control some, get a bit of our map back, because right now it doesn't look like they own too much here on the Rift.
So what Team Liquid is doing is they're trying to ward up the sides in the jungle, and they're going to try to 1-3-1 split push and contest objectives throughout the river and see what they can get, test all of the parts of the armor, and see where the crack is.
Yeah. Plus, since they can keep Team Dignitas boxed up at their secondary turret line, they can starve Dignitas of ward coverage, and it makes it really easy to just chain the dragons. Since they've gotten all 3 of the initial ones, they actually don't have to take the super risky play and start Baron. All they really need to do around Baron is, go for bait plays. They never actually have to take the damage and even risk the actual initiation inside the Baron pit. They can just try and starve out Team Dignitas and go for the dragon stacking, which is way more safe and reliable.
I say, I've said it a few times, but the ward game by Liquid is impeccable this game. They have always kept them up. There's always 3 to 4 pink wards on the map. They are making this a living hell for Helios and anybody else that wants to try to flank, because it's one of the ways they can get back in, and it's not going to happen with this many wards.
Yeah, Helios, no Sightstone, and the Baron being started up here by Team Liquid. They have all the coverage.
Yeah, it's a Dominate special. Loves going for the early one.
Oh boy, oh boy. That's a lot of damage right there. Gonna have to take a quick back out special. It almost cost him his life to be a tank there for the Baron, but Liquid comes up with it. They'll be back to the lanes that they already have pretty nicely pushed and prepped to get into the base.
And this is absolutely amazing for a 1-3-1 split push comp. They can continue the split push. Twisted Fate Ultimate was used there to scare away people who wanted to go towards the Baron. Core JJ pretty much just backed off of the minion wave thinking that it was going to be towards him, and he couldn't even go towards the Baron to assist.
Well, Dignitas knows they are on the back foot now. Not a place they have been too much within the season. Maybe a few thousand gold the early game to the mid game right now, but they've been on 8,000 right now.
They've been down about 10,000 gold. We've seen comebacks from Team Dignitas.
Yeah.
They've had these decisive calls, but the thing is, this is not a composition that allows you to say, let's just go and kill them. It is set up, siege, almost kind of set up the turret, and then go.
All right, well, I do have an update on the Phoenix situation. He's going for playmaking ability rather than just raw blowing up of the target.
He's going to go for both. Deathcap is next.
He will get it pretty soon as well. They can just keep Dignitas boxed up inside their defenses here for as long as they want and continue to mine the entire map here of resources. Team Liquid really milking this lead here.
They're playing very methodical. The last time they lost to Team Dignitas was off of that late game call in the final 2 minutes.
Oh,
look at this, they're going for a decisive call.
Very close. The Lantern's there if anybody wants to get out. Looks like they do want to stay and try to kill Kiwi Kid. Gamsu comes in at the right time. Quas right to the backside. He's going to get a smash on, but it doesn't really stop too much. It is Core JJ and Kiwi that have finally fallen down. They're going right past the turret. Quas, Vengeful Maelstrom denying so much damage that Dignitas is trying to put back into the fight. And Liquid just put a stranglehold on Dignitas in that top lane and take him down.
You split, you pressure, you group up, and you engage.
Counter-engage.
What a game where Team Liquid has put their foot down. We heard Peter coming in talking about what would kind of be the pivotal guys they need to lock down. A little bit of Kiwi Kid, a little bit of Gamsu. They had good pressure on those guys in the beginning, and they were able to come up strong.
They're just going to go for game here.
Dominating victory.
It is going to be very dominating. Coming out strong, 27:58 on the clock, 10-2 in kills. Team Liquid will take the 1-1 over Team Dignitas.
If your team is having trouble with those late game high pressure situations, don't let it go late game and have to make those decisions. Just end the game 28